Is organic even worth it? And what is organic?
It drives me nuts because organic in chemistry means just a carbon-containing compound.
Organic at the grocery store means double.
The price?
Yes.
All right. Welcome to Talking with Docs. I'm Dr. Paul Zalzal.
I'm Dr. Brad Green. We're talking about what organic is, what it means, what the rules are about being organic. This is something that's kind of become popular since like the early 90s. So how do you become an organic farm? And do we know that if you say you're organic, that you actually are organic? And ultimately, does it make a difference? Is it worth doing?
That's the question. We're going to tell you at the end, should you be buying all your food as organic?
Okay, so we got like 7 things that kind of make an organic farm. We're going to kind of go from maybe the least important to the most important, but hard to argue that.
We didn't make up these 7 things.
No.
They're the certification. Like to get that organic certification in the U.S.
Yes, or in Canada.
This or Canada, you need to meet these 7 criteria.
Okay, so the first one is...
Or the 7th one.
Yeah. First one we're going to talk about, or the 7th one, is regular inspection. So if you have an organic farm, you got to be inspected.
Yep. Hey, who's that? I'm the organic inspector. Come and inspect your organic farm.
Right. So what does this mean? So it means they come to your farm, usually once a year. Sometimes it could be announced, which I was like, well, what if they tell you? Like, hey, Bob, put away the fertilizer.
Yeah.
You know, the organic guy's coming.
Yeah.
So sometimes it could be surprised. Sometimes it's planned. But also, they would test the soil to see for residual toxins and things like that were there from before. And then that's how you get your organic certification and maintain it. So it is a regular thing. It's not once organic, always organic.
No, you have to maintain that certification.
Okay, so that's the first one. So it is a governmental agency that makes sure that what they say is true.
Number 6, you can't use any radiation to try and sterilize stuff or treat stuff or any kind of radiation in your processes.
Right, so no radiation. I think that even in that, included in that section is like you can't use a specific type of sewage sludge, and there's specific rules. So yeah, no kind of post manufacturing kind of treatment that makes it not organic. Okay, the next one is there specific rules for livestock. So a lot of people, when they think organic, they think mostly plants. They think fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
But also this applies to organic farming of chicken, poultry, beef. And so what does that mean?
Oh, it means that your livestock can't be exposed to hormones. A lot of people use hormones to help their livestock.
Especially beef. They help them, to help them.
Right, antibiotics, routine use of antibiotics in your beef. And the livestock has to have the option to go outdoors if they want.
Nice, they gotta have some recreational area.
There's no like set time they have to be outside. They just have like when I open the door for my dog to go outside, and she just sits there and looks out the window.
Like,
you know, it's like 20 below outside, and she's like, I don't know, don't want to go, don't want to go.
But didn't you say sometimes your dog's outside is like, I don't really want to come in?
Yeah, and they go outside.
And they send me a picture, I'm like, what is your dog doing? Just chilling on the deck. It's like minus 20.
And then snow. So those are the things for the livestock. Basically, no antibiotics, no hormones. Got to be able to go outside when they want to go outside.
Interesting thing about the antibiotics, if you have an animal that's sick, obviously it's thoughtful to treat that animal so you can cure the disease. But once it's received antibiotics, then it goes over to the non-organic side. So you can still sell it, you can still grow it, you just can't call it organic anymore.
That guy's trying to come back with the herd. He's like, hey, I'm back, I feel better.
He's like,
no,
sorry,
you're
Jim,
over there
you're
with the other ones.
You're not organic.
You're over there with the one with 2 heads that got radiated.
I notice you're getting bigger now, though, because you got some hormones. You're like, forget it. This guy's not organic.
You took more than antibiotics.
That's right. Okay, so the next one is there has to be what's called a soil transition period. So obviously if one day you're using all these things that you're not supposed to use as organic, and then you say next day, hey, I'm organic, they actually have an estimated period of about 3 years. So things get washed out, they get broken down, because bacteria can break down some of the herbicides and pesticides, so it does take time, but it's a period of about 3 years for soil transition to become an organic farm.
Okay, fair.
Which is comforting to know that.
What number are we on? Are we on number 3
We got 3 to go, or I guess technically it's number 5, but this is, I guess number 3 if you're going reverse order.
All right. That was a long-winded answer to my question of which one are we on now?
Yeah.
Okay, no genetically modification allowed. You can't genetically modified products, genetically modified seed, genetically modified food for the animal, no genetically modified animals. Don't mess with the genes.
Which for me, I mean, I kind of get, I think a lot of people just have a blanket kind of concern about GMOs, that this is bad for us. So I think that's possible.
Yeah.
I think genetically modified organisms, including seeds, have benefits though. I think they can increase yields, they can make them more resilient in certain climates. Like you could genetically modify a seed so that instead of being able to grow it in say Florida, you can grow it in sub-Saharan Africa or in Canada. And so you're like, well, is that really a problem? Well, for the organic people, it is a problem.
Sure
I think we could argue about whether GMOs are good or bad. It's a whole different conversation. But for organic, you can't use GMOs.
The whole process of evolution is genetic modification over
Right.
a long period of time.
Of course, Mendel,
Right. Yeah,
right?
he did it, right?
Yeah.
And so you tease out which genes work, which genes don't.
Well, and with cross-pollination,
Sure.
like plants and
So-
bees, and they're kind of doing it on their own anyway. We just do it way faster and
so
way
that's
better.
what we don't like, is that's part of the organic no-no, is a genetically modified
Right.
substance.
Okay, so number 2 is no synthetic fertilizers. So this is a big problem for our environment, to be honest with you, like high nitrogen fertilizers, not only because it can disrupt the microbiomes of the soil, the
Yeah.
runoff into the lakes can lead to algae blooms, which
Yes.
is a really common thing now, especially as temperatures are rising. So no synthetic fertilizer. You can use things like compost and manure,
Sure.
which is obviously good to provide nitrogen back to not only the plants, but also to the soil, increase biodiversity, so that's good. No synthetic fertilizers, though, that's
Yeah.
number 2.
And number 1, along the same lines of synthetic things, no synthetic pesticides, no synthetic herbicides. So synthetic just means it was made in a lab somewhere.
Yep.
You can still use pesticides and herbicides, but naturally occurring ones, you just can't use synthetic ones.
Yeah, so pyrethrin and permethrin, as well as copper. And it doesn't mean that those things are necessarily safe, because they can do damage to the
Sure.
bees or to the insects or to the mosquitoes or even to the bacteria that live in the soil.
Right.
It's just that they're natural. So it's not necessarily a good or bad, it's just synthetic versus non-synthetic. So the most common synthetic herbicide is probably, that we know of, is Roundup, and the main active ingredient is their glyphosate.
What does glyphosate do?
Okay, glyphosate is a compound that inhibits an enzyme that only lives in plants.
Right.
So it's 5-enolpyruvyl shikimate 3 phosphate synthase.
Get that put on a shirt.
That's a good Jeopardy question.
Yeah.
So this shikimate pathway is common in plants and some bacteria, and it stops this. And what it does, primarily for agricultural purposes, is to kill broadleaf weeds and grasses.
Yeah, fair enough.
And in Roundup, it kind of kills everything.
Jeez, it works well, man. Holy
Right.
cow. But I don't think we can even get it anymore. Like, we used to be able to get it at the store.
you can.
Really?
So you can. If you want to get Roundup at the store, you got to go get the guy who gets the key and goes to like the cage. And he's like, "Do you
Yeah.
really want Roundup?" You're like, "Yeah." And then just don't spray it on your lawn, because it's not going to kill
Yeah.
just the weeds. It kills everything.
Not
It's like
selective.
it's like napalm.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting, what they've done is they've genetically modified seed now that can be glyphosate resistant.
Wow.
So then you have the special seed, and then usually the glyphosate is actually used early. They pre-treat the soil,
Right.
and then this kills the broadleaf weeds. So what's the history of glyphosate?
You're not going to get organic certification.
You're not getting organic certification. So glyphosate was invented in like the 70s kind of thing, and then Monsanto brought it to market, and then eventually it was purchased by Bayer in about 2018. But what happened over time is that we realized that there's an association with cancer, certain types
Fair.
of cancer. And so at this point it is listed as probably carcinogenic, which for me, we've talked about this before. If something's probably carcinogenic,
Yeah.
maybe we shouldn't use it. Well, the thing is,
Smoke, where there's smoke, there's fire.
right, most of it gets broken down. When you get, say, blueberries or some food into your house, the amount of glyphosate there is actually quite low. It washes off with a little bit of soap and a little bit of friction. And the main people that are affected by this are actually the farmers, the people
Yes.
that are handling it. And back in the day when we didn't know that it was as bad, people wouldn't use gloves, they'd have short sleeve shirts. So
Sure.
now, if it's not typically ingested, it's not volatile. So if you protected yourself, your exposure actually could be approaching zero.
Sure.
So it's probably safer, but there is a lot of concern about cancer.
And you're not going to get your organic certification. So,
Right.
answer the question, should you buy organic stuff? And if you do, what?
Okay, so what I would say, just before we answer this question, if I get organic food, is it better for me, and are there more nutrients in that food?
Okay, so there's no nutrient benefit. Let's just say that right off the bat.
Right.
It's not more nutritious. The food is not more nutritious, but it is way more expensive.
Yes.
Fair to say?
So it's way more
20,
expensive.
50% more
You're-
expensive.
Yeah, so I'd say that's first concern. Second concern is that I would say it's lower yields.
Yes.
So you could
Okay.
argue about environmental impact,
fair.
right? So you're going to grow less food. So if only growing a lot of food for people is the purpose, then probably non-organic makes more sense,
Sure.
depending on how it's done. And then what I'd say is that the amount of toxins that you actually get in your home is actually very low.
Yeah.
And it can be dealt with, like we said, soap and water. Sometimes people use a little baking soda. There are
Yeah.
special commercially available products to wash your produce. So what I'd say is that if you can afford it, I think it's safer for you. I think that's undeniable. So
Okay,
no.
riddle me this.
Okay.
If there's a government agency that certifies this and says this is safer,
Right.
then why don't they make that the standard?
Well, I think because safer than what? So the standard is actually still very, very safe.
Okay.
Right. So not everybody's getting cancer from
But
glyphosate.
it seems weird. You can't push and pull at the same time. We're saying, oh yeah, it's safe, but if you want to be really safe,
Well,
use
do you want
this.
to talk about alcohol?
yeah, no, I don't.
No, I don't. Right. So what I'd say is yes. So it is safer. It's just how much safer. It's not like seatbelt versus no seatbelt.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
So it is definitely safer, but the measure of how much safer I think is debatable. So I
Right.
think if you had unlimited funds and access to food, I think it would for sure be safer. If you had one group of people that only had organic food and one group of people that had a non-organic, I would say the non-organic people have a higher risk of getting cancer, but that could be 1 in a million.
Yeah,
it could be 1 in 2, very, very
risk.
low.
So do you do it? Well,
So-
you're in the grocery store and you see
Yeah.
the organic fruits and vegetables and the non-organic.
So my wife certainly talked to me about this like 10 years, and I'd be like, "There's no way that we're buying organic. This is
Yeah.
like, look, it's like $4
Yeah.
versus $9." So what I would say is, for certain things, we do buy organic, for some
Yeah.
stuff, and then not organic for other stuff. And actually, there are lists of. We can post a link to like there's an
The Dirty
independent group,
Dozen.
the Environmental Working Group, the Dirty Dozen, and the Clean 15, things that tend to accumulate or not accumulate more pesticides. So I'd say yes, we do, and that's I think because.
You want to help the economy.
Yeah. No, I want to help my wife because she feels
Okay.
strongly about it.
All right.
So that's the first thing. And then if you.
Do you ever
it-
buy it and say, yeah, it's organic?
No,
I got the
you mean,
organic
you mean
stuff.
lie?
Yeah.
No,
That's organic.
that would be
How
horrible.
would you ever
idea.
know?
Yeah, so definitely not doing that.
Okay.
But what I'd say is, if you can afford it, I think it's a good idea. And if that helps you eat more fruits and vegetables, that's a bonus.
Okay.
But what I would say is, if not eating organic gets you to eat more fruits and vegetables, that's way more important,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Like, we need you to eat fruits and vegetables. That's the take home of all of our messages. We all need to eat more plants and more fruits and vegetables. So whatever way gets you to eat the most.
Yeah, I would say the deal breaker is going to be not whether you go organic, non-organic. It's
Right.
whether you go eat the fruits or vegetables and don't
Yeah.
eat. For me, I think if I were going to consider it, it'd be more in the livestock. I think.
Okay.
Because the antibiotics,
The
the hormones,
hormones.
that would be more of a
Yeah.
game changer than
As
instead of just washing the food.
As a plant-based eater, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I agree, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think because we don't know the effects of
Yeah.
like the endocrine disruption of the hormones
Yeah.
or obviously what
Yes.
antibiotics can do to your gut microbiome.
But I don't eat a ton of meat, so I don't
Yeah.
think over my
I would agree.
lifespan it's going to make
Chicken
a big
wing here and
difference.
there.
Yeah, it's not going to make a huge difference. So
Agreed.
generally, I don't actually. I avoid those organic aisles, and sometimes I'm there. I'm like, oh man, this is the
Because
organic
of
stuff.
price. But what if it was the same price?
I was the same price. I
What if it was
probably would.
5% more? You probably would, right?
Yeah, I go 5% more. But it's not. It's like
No,
way more.
It's a lot more. It's
Yeah,
a lot
no,
more. I
I
think
wouldn't.
because it's laborious, right? It takes a lot, right?
It costs a lot of money. Yeah.
No, I mean for
Yeah,
the
oh,
farmer though.
yeah,
Like it
yeah.
costs. They have to use more land. They get less
Yeah.
bushels of whatever, so they
Yeah.
have to charge more.
If I had to choose between eating organic or retiring earlier, I would choose retiring earlier. I think that's going to be better for my life.
Okay, leave a comment if you buy organic produce or livestock. We'd be very interested to hear what our viewers think. And if you like this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, share it with someone that says that organic is bunk or that they love organic or whatever.
And remember, organic just means it's carbon-containing compound.
Right.
That's really what organic
That's really
means.
what it means.
You are in charge of your own health.
We'll see you next time.